Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's none of those things really, is it? Wherever you are in the world, welcome to FPL Don't Panic. Carnage, folks. Absolute bloody carnage. Oh my god. Millions of FPL managers all over the world crying into their collective cornflakes this morning, or as it is in the UK, their collective supper. Yeah, going to keep this one very, very quick. Oh my god, that was just a disaster class, wasn't it? Where to begin? Where to begin? Yeah, I think fairly regularly I sort of say that most of our teams will find, there'll be the exceptions, but generally most of our points in any given game week come through 5 or 6 players. And I tell you what, we're cutting it to the freaking wire this week. In some weird way, though, it's not going that badly for me. As weird as that is, he says there after pretty much over half the team gone, and sitting on 14 points. Seriously, this could be the worst game week ever. 14 points, but I've only dropped 16,000 places, and that's a live hub, so that includes all the various bench boosters out there and everything. The Assmen that will have mostly been on Glasner. Might even be a few triple captainers in there in on Mateta, as I trying to survive this week with no chips and hopefully not fall too far. So if I was only falling 16,000 by the end of this game week, I'll be very, very happy. But why do I fear that the worst is yet to come? Right, we'll run through this list. I'm going to keep this brief. There's not really much to say. We're all feeling very sad this morning. I haven't seen a score over 30. And some of those are ones that have already had all their players come in on their bench boost. Yeah, I don't think I've seen a bench boost over 15. Honestly, it's absolutely. I've never seen anything like it. Henderson 1 point, lucky to get it. Yeah, just needed one more goal. He would have been another nil point for me. Yeah, that the Glasner Assmen would have been licking their collective lips when Palace went 2-0 up, wouldn't they? They'd have been on the roller coaster of all roller coasters. So I did say Henderson was good for save points, but I would have liked a little more than just a save point. Munoz, no points, and lucky not to finish on a minus. Least said the better. Made the bed now. Oh, this doesn't look good for the doubles if that's the Palace defence without Guehi. And he's back for the next one, isn't he? God for that. They just, that was the collapse of collapses, wasn't it? I mean, City were decent, but I didn't think. I just thought Palace just disappeared. Gavardiol 1 point, so yeah, they'll give that couple of early goals away and then deciding that, we won't concede for the rest of the game. Looked reasonably solid, but against a Palace defence, a Palace attack that just, it was like watching two different teams. It really was that second half, or the second half of the first half, and then all of the second half. Milenkovic. So there's not much of a story, but it's my only story this week. To be honest with you, the way the game week was going, I just I'm going to bed, and it was like a minute or two before the Forest match was over, and I just thought, you know what, I just know they're going to concede. The way this game week's gone, I know they're going to concede. I went to bed, I got myself all nicely tucked and thought, right, I'll just check now. I know they've conceded. Yep, there it is. 94th minute, honestly. Right, Salah still to come. That's not going to make any difference to rank, whatever he does, because pretty much 100% owned still. And Mbumo, 2 points. I guess the only good thing out of that match really was I don't think Wiz is too highly owned now, so it wouldn't have done too much damage. And also the goal probably did me a lot of good, I would imagine, because there would have been a lot of people with an Arsenal defender, or as I've seen in some cases, double Arsenal defence. All right, then we got to who else we got? I've got Murphy. Okay, I know a lot of you are looking at that. This may prove to be a stroke of genius and may save the game week, or it may destroy the game week, particularly if the Newcastle defence comes in. I did go Murphy. I looked at my options when I was having to move out Foden. Once it became clear Foden wasn't playing, I knew I was going to move Foden out if I got any sort of wind that he wasn't starting. It'll be interesting on the list, the short list that I went through in the last video, how they generally go this week. But the one that has someone did mention, and I have to say I agree with them in the comments of that video when I had Rice on that list, and I said, listen, I know I'd be mad to do it, but why do I just have a feeling he's going to hit a little purple patch? And is he going to be playing a bit further forward after that performance in Madrid? And is he going to be on free kicks? And I said, would it be a little cheeky Rice punt? And I was told in no unequivocal manner that I'd be absolutely nuts to do it. And basically, I did agree. But of course, who comes up with the assist, which is almost outscoring my whole bloody team? Yeah, Rice. Of course he did. Of course he did. Never really seriously considered it though. So yeah, I've gone with Murphy. Why did I go with Murphy? He's returned in 3 or 4 of his last when he started a match now. In the last 3 or 4, when he started a match. I think Gordon's definitively out. I don't think Gordon. He will. Gordon will end up starting now. But based on the news we've got, it doesn't. And he didn't get on the pitch last week. He didn't even get in the squad last week. So I think he might be on the bench this week. But I don't think he'll get on the pitch, which would likely mean that maybe he might get some minutes in the second. So I took a Murphy punt. Sorry, not a Barnes punt, I should say. I took a Barnes punt. And the reason for that is just basically, as I was looking through, everything was just so template. Everyone has their Newcastle defender, their Palace, Newcastle defender, their Newcastle midfielder, and Isak up front. And I thought, I'm going to go a bit different. And I just sort of looked at my team going out, and I'm actually not looking too bad for the double, and I'm actually looking pretty good for the blank. I have to sort of play through it. You know what? I'm just going to take a punt on this one and go a little bit different. It'll probably bite me on the arse big time, but it's certainly going to make an interesting end to the game week. And if he's on the pitch for all of the very last for the double, it's certainly going to make for a very, very. I'll have some hope right at the death after this, with the 3 Newcastle attackers going out against that Crystal Palace defence. I hope. And so, yeah, of course, Murphy's still to play, so hopefully we get something there. He's not as big a differential, obviously, as he was last week, where he gave me a great big rank rise. So, but still keep my fingers crossed for him. And then, there's just Isak left with the captain's armband on, where it would probably be better for me, despite the horrific score for Isak to blank, given that I suspect there's going to be a lot of triple captainers on him. So, covered myself a little bit with that. And so this is probably going to be the game where we're banging 4 or 5, and it'll look like a respectable score in terms of points at the end of the week, but it's got to contribute to a great big red arrow. That's where we're at. And I absolutely guarantee you that Bowen and Konate will both bag, and that Sal will keep a clean sheet. That is the kind of week that this is so far. Anyway, hope you lot are doing the me, and I suspect some of you are, but it ain't going to be a lot better. It's carnage, folks. It's carnage. But hey, let's have fun. Let's play our own games, and let's not panic. I'll see you in 24 hours just to see where this whole disaster has ended up. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.